Welcome to the Sellernomics podcast. In today's special episode, we are going to share some great tools and software available to Amazon sellers. Special thanks to our sponsor, GETIDA. Did you know you can get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at getida.com/Sellernomics? Now it is time to show us what you got with your host, Rob Stanley.
Rob Stanley here with Sellernomics podcast. Show us what you got episode, of course. And I got a great one today. I got David from AccrueMe. What's going on, David?
How you doing, Rob? Good to see you, bud.
Doing great. So David's got this great presentation. He was just showing me a little bit before we jumped on the air here. And we're going to be talking about how to get money to grow your Amazon business in 3 days. 3 days, David, you sure?
3 days. It doesn't take long when people are ready to roll.
Well, you know what? We're going to, you know how we like to do it here on the podcast. We're going to jump right into this presentation. David, just give us a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about, and let's go straight into it.
You know, we're going to be talking about growth capital. If you're ready to grow and expand your business, every conversation is going to come down to growth capital. If I only had more money, I could do more sales, make more revenue, grow my business. So we're going to talk about the best option out there, something that's never been seen before, totally unique, totally special, and we're kind of going to get into it today and see if it's right for you and if it's right for us.
Well, you know what time it is, David? It's time to show us what you got.
Okay, man, let's get after it.
All right, let's go. We got the presentation up. Go for it.
All right.
There you go.
So, guys, I want to talk to you real quickly. By the way, thanks for joining. I'm excited to be here. Rob is just amazing what he does with GETIDA and everything, guys. If you've never looked into that and drilled down into it, how to do that audit and get that extra inventory that's lost or stolen or whatever, check them out. Get into that. It's a phenomenal opportunity to have those lost inventory and that extra money coming back to you. So, Rob, I appreciate what you're doing, and I'm excited about that. But AccrueMe is going to be talking about how to have some interest-free money, how to have payment-free money and equity-free money. And what that is, what we want to focus on is really how to grow and expand your business. That's the whole point. Let me give an example of one couple that were in their 70s. They were trying to retire. They didn't have enough money to retire. So, hey, guess what? They said, I'm going to do an Amazon business. Fantastic. And what they did is we came alongside them and gave them some money to grow their business. And this is what we like to see, hockey stick growth, as you can see on the screen. And it goes up like a rocket ship, and you can start to see this couple lost their retirement. They had to start over, so they started their business, and what we did is we doubled their capital, and they took off like mad. We came alongside and looked at their inventory, what they had, and we invested 25 grand with them, and that 25 grand that they're still active with us right now, but their first profit on month 1 was $2,700, you can see on the screen. And then by month 9, they're up to $7,800 in profit. Okay. And that's a 287% increase. And that's exciting to be able to do that. Now, along the way, though, they had to take some money out for bills, et cetera. So they took $114,000 out of the business and still had that type of profit going on from 9 grand up to 132,000 in 2020. So that's what I want to talk about today and get into. And just kind of give you an overview. Then I'm going to show some examples and show you the money, as they say, Rob. I know you like to see. And so it's like, prove it. So I'll give you those plenty of stories because that's really where the proof is rather than talking about it. But what we do is we come alongside and double your capital. And by doubling your capital, we take a look at your inventory at cost plus your accounts receivable. And then we look at that dollar amount. And then what we do is we give you money from AccrueMe. It's that simple. And it's free of any interest whatsoever. It's free of required monthly payments. There's no scheduled payments with us. Pay us when it makes sense for you. Because if your business is cranking, why on earth would you take any money out of the business whatsoever to pay a loan? I mean, that's just depleting your cash flow. So when it's time to get going and grow your business, keep the money in, keep it doubling, keep it compounding. I talk to a lot of people and ask them, are you taking a salary in the business? They're like, oh no. I'm leaving it in. How come? Because I want to grow my business. And that's what happens. We give you the capital. Any profit sharing we make, we keep in as well. So you can double, compound, and create that exponential growth. We'll get into that in just a minute. But also, it's debt-free. What is debt-free? Well, it doesn't show up as debt on your books. So you can actually grow your business like mad. We're finding what people takes 3 years to do, you can do it in a year and a half because the money is compounding. We'll get into that. But let's say if an aggregator, you want to grow your business and sell it. Aggregator comes in and looks at your books. It doesn't show up as debt in your books, which is phenomenal. And it's equity free. What does that mean? You retain 100% of the business ownership at all times. Now that's crazy because there's a lot of people that'll say, hey, I'll give you money, but I want a piece of the pie. We don't take any of that. We're simply a temporary profit sharing member. And I'll explain that so you really get into it. Meaning you keep 100% of the business. We come along and we do a temporary profit sharing on that business. And then also there's no personal guarantee, which is phenomenal, where simply those loans you're getting, whether it be the Amazon or the seller funding or the payability or Payoneer or all the ones that are out there, there's a personal guarantee on many, many of those. So there's no personal guarantee with us. And what we like and what our clients like is that we can scale with you guys. What does that mean? As you need more additional funds, we can give you them. Simply as you grow, we can grow with you. And you pull away, we fill the glass up. You pull away, we fill the glass up. And it's phenomenal along the way. So it's just a simple temporary profit share of profits while using our funds. And, so many people are giving us feedback, Rob. They're saying, man, this is just the best partner you could ever imagine. And a lot of times people say, hey, you know what? It sounds too good to be true. Why would you do all that? Well, we need to find those good quality people that are growing their business, that are making things happen. A lot of times, Rob, we get into it. People say, well, what's your background? How do you know about AccrueMe? What's your role in it? Well, I'm the new partnership director with AccrueMe, and helping people come on and qualifying them and vetting them and making sure they're a good fit for us. That's the key. Because if you guys make money and do well, we'll make a small piece. But if you don't make any money whatsoever, we will not make a dime. So,
hey, David, hold on. Go back to that last slide real quick, if you don't mind. So one of the things I want to point out here, the best partner you ever imagined, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but AccrueMe right now is the #1 rated finance app on the Amazon App Store.
Absolutely. It's phenomenal. Our phone is ringing off the hook because it's almost like the word is on the street. We have a bunch of money and we're giving it out, and we can't even keep up with it right now. It's phenomenal, Rob.
Excellent. That's great. I'm sorry. Go ahead to the next slide. But I
No,
just wanted to make
please
sure to
interrupt
point
at
that
any
out.
time, because I'm just excited to be able to share, because what I like to do, and my background is I've been a trainer and a coach and a mentor for over 27 years. And what I like to do is help people not have to hit the mistakes that so many people make in business. There's landmines in business. You don't know what you don't know. And when people get into a business, they're, sometimes they're tenuous because they don't want to make errors. I love being able to come alongside them and say, hey, you know what? There's some pitfalls in front of you. Here's a roadmap of how to get through that minefield so you don't have to make those mistakes and go through that. Remember that word, Robbie, the school of hard knocks? We've all been through that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It takes a lot of time and money and expenses. So this is kind of a little history of here. I've had the chance to work with some of the biggest minds and wealthy people out there. Just very humbled to be able to work with them, but to share with people. See, I come from a teaching background, Robbie. I was a school teacher for a lot of years. And actually, I don't know if you know this, Robbie, one of the co-founders of AccrueMe, Mark, he helped me get out of teaching. He showed me the entrepreneur bug. And basically, he gave me principles of wealth, and I implemented those, and very quickly went from zero to hero, or rags to riches type thing. And for the last 27 years, I've been sharing and coaching and training and helping people. So when he called me a couple of years ago and told me about AccrueMe, and basically he called me up and said, hey, Freiman, I need you to cut me a check. I said, well, how much? He goes, add some zeros.
Yeah. Then add a few more.
Exactly. And he goes, I go, for what? And he goes, we're going to change e-commerce. We're going to change how people do business. And we're going to go ahead and come alongside these Amazon business owners. We're going to actually help them, give them wisdom, give them money, and not require a payment, and actually help them scale and grow. And we didn't know what we're doing, Rob. I mean, we didn't have any software. We didn't have any tools. We didn't have any contracts. It was just, here's our wisdom and here's our money. And you know what? They all did extremely well. And then we went on to
Proof of concept.
Exactly. And then we went out to Wall Street and raised a ton of money. And now we're just implementing it, looking to find great quality people that really want to grow their business. So here's the way it works, just kind of a nutshell. What we're looking for and what you should be looking for to do is to grow your business like crazy. So my question for you is this: do you really want to grow, guys? I mean, really grow your business. Is this your year? Are you done with COVID? Are you done with all the stuff that's a distraction? Are you ready to hunker down? And if I were to talk to you, we take this survey here as far as, do you want to grow just a little bit? Do you want to grow, slowly, kind of growth is scary? Or do you want to set your hair on fire and rock the house? When I come back on screen, you're going to see there's not much hair there because my hair's been on fire, dude. so many times.
There's lack of hair in this entire studio
Okay.
right now.
All right.
For sure.
We won't talk about our barbers, but you know what? Do you really want to grow? And can you grow faster? Here, this is a simple question, guys. You answer this if you're looking at the screen. Can you grow faster by taking a large amount out of your business each month? Or B, leaving the money in your business and letting your profits compound? What do you think you can do? A or B? Well, obviously, if you leave your money in, Rob, what would you say? A or B?
Oh man, I don't know. You know, people are some are gonna take one and some are gonna take the other. So why don't you help explain to them which one's the best option and why?
Well, imagine if you take your business, you make 10 grand out, but you take 5 grand to pay bills. You only have 5 grand left to go ahead and buy for inventory for next month. But what if you made the 10 grand and kept the 10 grand in? What if all of a sudden you went from 10 grand and you had 20 grand in your business you could order off of? And then the next month you had 30,000 you could order off from. Keeping the money in your business will start to compound and have what's called exponential growth. And that's the 8th wonder of the world, the compounding of interest. And I hope we can get more into that on this time. But if we run out of time, I'm happy to talk to anybody. I'll give you my email at the end. We can have a conversation. We can talk about your business. We can talk about your goals and how you want to grow it. So it comes down to, if you want to grow fast and you want your profits to compound on top of profits, meaning your profit-making profit, digest that for a minute, your profit-making profit, why would you go out and take a normal loan that's been around for 2,000 years and go through where you would send the bank or the lender each and every month, send them money? Why would you take money out to pay them if you could keep the money in and compound it? That's just a simple question.
It's required you pay it every month, like a minimum amount at least.
Absolutely, because they're not going to just let you not make a payment. They're going to say, hey, I gave you the dough, make the payment every single month. But imagine if you could have that money and you're not required to make a monthly payment, and then the money stays in, and then the compound, so the profit starts making profit on top of it. I mean, tell you what, does that help your business or the lender when you make them a monthly payment? What does that help? It makes money for them, correct?
Business,
not your business.
The lender, basically.
Exactly. All right. So at some point, when people wrap their head around this, they decide you can grow with money in your business. Okay. All right. And it does not help your business to take money out each month. Agree or disagree? What do you think?
Yeah. Hey, David, real quick, we did have a question come in.
Yeah.
And I do apologize. I was trying to read the question. It was kind of lengthy.
No, dude, you can interrupt me anytime. I'm here to serve people. I want to create understanding, because I tell you what, Robbie, once people wrap their head around this, see, this has never been seen. It's totally new out there. But once people catch this, they will never be able to go back to a loan again, because it does not make sense, because the lender always wins. Here's a way where people got skin in the game. We have skin in the game. You have skin in the game, and you can actually win the game. That's exciting.
Yep.
So what was the question?
Yeah. So it was kind of long, but I think what they're basically trying to ask, and if I don't get it right, they're welcome to like repost another question. But it was basically something along the lines of, I think it was a slide ago or so, you were kind of talking about, using the money and reinvesting it back into the company. And they kind of had a question that was regarding, well, what about paying myself, paying some of the bills? I'm taking money out. I can't always put it all back in. How's that work with AccrueMe?
You know what? That's phenomenal. That is a great question. Super smart person who answered that or asked that. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of how that worked. Okay. And with the elderly couple I just gave you, although they made huge profit, remember that first hockey stick screen that I gave you? Yep. They pulled out $100,000 out of the business to pay their bills and to live with, etc. And that's totally acceptable and totally fine. But I'll tell you what, while I'm talking here, I'll pull something else out and I'll pop it in for that person. What is the name of the person who asked?
You know what? Sometimes it just gives me user. It says user. Okay. When they don't have an actual screen name. So,
all right.
Go ahead.
User who asked it.
User who asked.
Okay, user.
You should just address this to everybody, because I bet you at some point somebody's going to watch this video and have that question anyways. So if you're listening and you have this type of question, David's going to answer it. Go for it.
You bet. I will. Okay. So I don't know how jazzed you can tell I am, Robbie. Ever met one of those hyperactive kids in school? Well, I was one of them. So
that makes two of us.
I know. But I got in trouble a lot because of it, because it's like somebody said, fold your hands, but I get excited about, there's a lot of pain. I've made millions of dollars and lost it, made it and lost it, finally made it and kept it. When I lost money, it hurt, man. It hurts your marriage. It hurts your family. And if we can help somebody understand that they don't have to do it the hard way, that they can work smarter in their business, they can compound their money, they can grow their money, and they can leave it in, it enables them to just find opportunities out there everywhere. And so that flexibility enables you to grow when you have opportunities. So what I want you to focus on, guys that are listening and hearing my voice, do you have opportunities? Do you have opportunities to grow your business? Because you're in one of two buckets. Either you're looking around for suppliers and trying to find good products, or you're like, you know what, I've got all the suppliers I need. Of course, I'm always looking for more and better ones, but I have enough identifiable opportunities. And if I only had more money, remember that conversation? If I only had more money. Well, if you know where to put it, the conversation needs to start with us on that, because pay only when it's right for you in your business. What does that mean? Don't take the money out. If it's right for you, pay. See, Rob, we've had people that have taken our money and are growing their business and compounding it, and they haven't paid us for 6 months. They haven't paid us for 12 months, 18 months, 36 months. Some of them have never paid us since they took the money. Well, that's okay, because they're profitable, they're making money, and we're making a small piece. So they're growing their business. I mean, some people have seasonal businesses, right? And there's slowdown months and few opportunities. So when you're flush with cash and you're cranking it and you're growing it, you might want to pay us down some to reduce our profit sharing. But if things are going and you need it, use it, okay? Because you're always going to figure out the perfect time to pay AccrueMe down. And then let's say if you pay us down because things are slow at the moment or whatever like that, and you need the money, well, great. Just call us up and we'll go ahead and wire the money within an hour. There's no pre-qualifying, because we already have your account. We already see your business and everything. Hey, Robbie, you know, we talked about this before, but I want to make sure your audience knows this. This is going to be kind of fast and furious, just for respect of everybody's time. And I get that, guys. And you're trying to, take in a lot of information. Here's what's going to end up happening. If it interests you at all, there's a 3-minute app you can fill out to see what you pre-qualify for. 3 minutes, fill out, answer a few questions. And then what we do is we jump on a phone. And you'll be on the phone with me, and we can talk about your business and flesh out the questions and have a conversation, because we're looking for the right people that want to grow and expand your business. You're obviously looking for the best deal for you that's going to help your business and help it grow. So if at any time during this time you realize, like, I don't know if I got that, that's okay. Let's just jump on a video call and have a conversation and talk about your favorite topic, your business, right?
David, I want to mention something. I think I want to clarify something to everyone, just so they understand this. People are already using other people's money to make money. And let me give an example here for people that are listening. Okay. And it's going to be a slightly different scenario, but it's the same sort of line. If you own a house and you bought a house, you've technically borrowed the bank's money. Now you are paying it back monthly.
Yep.
Interest usually only. Okay.
Yep.
But your hope is that house goes up in value and you're making money on that house. So you've technically already borrowed somebody else's money to make yourself money. Now, obviously, the scenario I just gave is slightly different than what AccrueMe is doing, because with AccrueMe, you don't have to make the payments back every month like he was just talking about, Dave was talking about. But I'm just trying to give you an understanding that people have already doing this. If you have a house, it's going to probably go up in value, right? So you've already borrowed some money to basically have it go up in value. And at some point you may cash out of it, or you may downsize and keep some of the money. So if you own a house and you're already making payments, you're already kind of doing some of what AccrueMe is doing. You're taking money to make money. Now, different scenario, obviously it's a house versus a business, but I just want to make sure everybody understands that AccrueMe, you're borrowing money to make money. That's one thing Don taught me when I was working there, is borrow money to make money. And let me tell you, I live and breathe that. And that's exactly what David's talking about right here.
And let me give you, that's absolutely true. And let me give you a distinction with here, it's not a loan.
Correct.
And that's the beautiful thing. It's simply a profit sharing partner. And
I don't think I'd want a profit share on my house, but on a business for sure, because you could keep growing a business. Houses kind of just grow depending on the market.
Absolutely.
With this, I could turn around and get more inventory, when it's Q4 and things like that. And I'm sorry if I didn't get to look at all David's slides, so he might go into that.
Well, you know what? We will get into some of that, but let's look at that house analogy you gave me with the mortgage. What most people do is they try to figure out whether they can afford a home by saying, okay, a 30-year mortgage, I can afford the payments, we're good. And so what people do is when they're trying to expand their business, they're going out and looking at different loan options, Amazon, Payability, Seller Funding, Clearbank. There's so many out there. But what they're doing is they're not only taking cash flow out of the business to make that payment or the advance and the fees that are so much there. They really don't know how to calculate the money. They hear it's going to be 9%. At the end of the day, it ends up being 16 when their accountant does all the reconciliation or all the fees. But here's the challenge that's happened is so many people we talk to, roughly about 85% of the people we help are coming from those other loan sources that they're like, oh my gosh, I want to just get rid of them because that money is just, it's draining my cash flow. We did some numbers on this, Rob. You'd have to make about a 25% profit in your business just to be able to make the payments that are out there from other lending sources. And to break even before you start making a profit in your business. But people don't understand that. So let me give you an analogy. If you have a home and you say, hey, I've got a 30-year mortgage, I can make the payment. Life is good. You live your life. You have kids, family, colleges, all that. But imagine if the bank says, I'm going to give you a mortgage on your home, but you have to pay it back in 6 months. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? A 30-year mortgage in 6 months?
No, thanks.
That doesn't work. And the quick payback sucks all the cash flow out. And basically, it's not helpful. You can't grow your business. And that's where AccrueMe said, you know what? Don't require the payment. Have it be flexible. Pay us when it's right. And then don't worry about it, but scale your business. And Robbie, what we're finding is what would normally take somebody 3 years, they're doing it in a year and a half. And excellent. Let me kind of get into the details. Yeah. I'm sure you're intrigued by it, guys that are listening, and you should be. This is totally new. I want to educate you as an educator. I want to get you up to speed a little bit on this. So let me give you an offer. Okay, you ready? We're funding. You have a business. You're looking for money. Here's my offer for you. Okay, I'd like to give you $10,000. Okay, guys. I want to give you 10 grand. Imagine you're needing the money. And I say, okay, I'll give you 10 grand. And here's the terms of the deal. It's going to be 0 interest on that money, 0 fees on that money. And there's going to be 0 required payments. And all you have to do is only pay us whenever it's good for you. Okay, that's it. So let me ask you out there, you can put in the chat or whatever you'd like. How many of you would accept a deal like this?
I'll take that deal.
Okay. Would you take that deal, guys? Put in the chat. Yes, no. How many of you would take that deal? Okay.
Yeah. We're getting some yeses.
I imagine you would take that deal. I'm just gonna give you 10 grand, 0 interest, 0 fees, 0 requirements. Pay it whenever it's best for you. Okay. Now I got a favor to ask. Would you take another 10 grand as well? So take the 10 grand I gave you, and it was the terms I just shared with you. Take another 10 grand. $10,000 and invest it at the same terms. In other words, inventory as original, put it in the same place, just buy more of it. Instead of buying 2, buy 4. Okay. And let me earn the profits on the 10 grand. But again, 0 interest, 0 fees, no required payments, same thing. But let me this time go ahead and earn the profit on that. Does that seem fair? What do you think?
So somebody asked how much interest.
Okay. There's 0 interest.
Oh, it said, but I think you mentioned let me earn profits on there.
Yeah. Yep. Let me earn the profits on it. So there's 0 interest on it. See, that's the thing.
I think what they meant was what kind of profits do you want on it?
Well, we'll get into that and I'll show you the exact numbers of that. Okay. So I'm going to give you 10 grand and you just take it all, earn all the profits on it and take another 10 grand then and let me make the profits on that. Okay. Does that seem fair?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so let's talk about it. That's AccrueMe in a nutshell. If you just understood that, you understand what AccrueMe does. So let me walk it through so we understand it. You earn all the profit on your funds in your business, and you earn half the profit on our funds. Okay, so imagine, all right, you're doing it with 0 interest, 0 fees, 0 required monthly payment, and that enables it perfect for growth.
Yeah.
All right, now that the concept's there, let's drive into the numbers. Ready? Let's say you have $20,000 in capital in your business. Okay, you got 20 grand in capital. Capital is defined as your inventory at cost plus your accounts receivable of Amazon. Okay, so then what AccrueMe is going to do? What was the deal? I gave you 10 grand just for taking it, correct? And then another 10 grand and let me make the profit on that. So we're going to go ahead and double your capital. So you're at 20, and so AccrueMe is going to give you another 20, doubling your business. Are you with me?
Got it.
Okay, so you got 20, we got 20. All right. Let's say you earn a 10% ROI every month. Okay. So on your 20 grand, you're going to earn what? 10% ROI, you're going to earn 2 grand. So now AccrueMe came in and gave you money, correct? And you're going to earn what? That $10,000, no strings attached. Remember that? A 10% ROI. So you're going to earn another $1,000. So on the 20 grand in your business, you earn 2 grand. I give you another 10 grand. You're still at 10% ROI. And so now that you earn another $1,000. So you've earned $3,000. You have a 50% increase in your business. And what do we do with that other 10 grand? I just asked that I could make the profit on it. So I make 1,000. So you make all the money on your money. Okay. 100% on your money. We give you 10 grand, no strings attached. You make another 10% on that. So now you're up to 3 grand. You increased your revenue by 50%. We just go ahead and make $1 grand because you took another 10 grand in addition to that. So 3,000, all right, 100% of the profit on 20 grand plus 50% of the profit on our 20 grand that we gave you. By the way, what's the cost of that? Nothing, because you simply made extra profit. So you're paying us out of the profit you wouldn't have had any other way. But we simply increased your profit by 50% because you took on additional capital and you mitigated the risk.
I love it, because realistically, if I'm just using my own 20 grand, right, to do this, and I'm making that couple $1,000, and I just keep doing it, I keep making a couple $1,000 with the scenario you just gave. Now, instead of me making 2,000 a month ROI, right, 10% ROI on the PM, it's like now I went to making 3,000 because I borrowed your money with all the requirements which are very little, if anything, almost zero requirements, to be honest, other than giving you a little bit of that extra money from that I already made profit on. If I didn't do that, I just keep going 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Now with this scenario, I'm going 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. I'm making an extra 1,000 every time. That's great.
Well, see, imagine, Robbie, check this out. Let's say if you were taking, you had 20 grand in your business and you made 10%, so you made 2 grand. What happens is most people are taking out then money out of their business to pay one of the loans from those other lending sources out there. So they're paying, a high dollar amount, $1,000 or something like that back to them. I mean, I was talking to a guy the other day. He had a $1.3 million ClearBank loan. And I said, Bob, help me understand your business and how you focus in your business. What is everything you think about each day? Because we're kind of helping him expand. He goes, David, to tell you the truth, every morning I wake up, because he was paying $60,000 a week. Wow. A week, Robbie, in interest for that loan. He goes, David, all I think about every morning when I wake up is 60 grand. I said, well, Bob, that's $240,000 a month, 6 times 4, $240,000 a month going out of your business. And he goes, I understand it. I said, Bob, let me ask you a question. What happens if you did not have $240,000 going out of your business? And it's almost like a light bulb went on. We were on a video call, so I saw his eyes, Robbie, dilated. It's like a light bulb came on. He smirked, and he said, well, gosh, I could turn that $240,000 into $1 million. He goes, I could grow that 4 times. I understand. I already do it. And he goes, well, wait a minute. You guys don't require payments. So I could keep that money in the business. And then whatever your profit was, you keep in the business. And now our profit's making profit, and we could... And he just, I mean, it's like, I'm like, dude, are you all right? He was getting excited.
Isn't it fun when that it hits them just right? And they're just like, oh my gosh, I can make more money on top of more money if I bring you along for the ride with AccrueMe.
So that's why I'm a teacher, Rob, because that's what got me into teaching, the light bulb going on in kids. But imagine with adults when the light bulb goes on. When people actually take the time to think about this, most people are not going to do it, Rob. They're going to go, I'm going to go to a bank and I'm going to go there and, hey, this AccrueMe sounds new and I don't know if I know enough about it. And, you always have the negative Nellies and you have winners and you have whiners. But the people that are actually business owners that want to grow and think about this, and once you catch this in your head, you'll never be the same. You will never look at any type of funding the same way because we share the risk. Let me give an example on this. So whatever you've invested, you get 100% of the profits of. And you've already told me that you can grow your business faster by leaving the money in, correct?
Yep.
So then what we do is whatever you've invested, okay, then you get 50% of the profit on the amount AccrueMe invests. So you retain 100% on your money. Yep. You make 50% on the money we give you, and we make the other piece on that. And remember, it's 0 interest, 0 fees, 0 payments, and you retain full ownership. So let me give you a case study real quickly of how this happened
Yeah.
with one of our students. I mean, because, there's proof in the pudding. I know you got the concept. You guys are super smart. Let me just kind of give you an idea of growth. Imagine this for yourself, okay? And some of you are going to do way better than this and blow it away. But this is 2018. All right. So we had a company, Gary and Joy, we gave money to start their business and get them up and running. They're making about $90,000 in revenue in their business, in their Amazon business, and, clearing about $9,000 profit. In 2000, we gave them some money then. In 2019, 1 year later, all right, their revenue has gone up to 393,000, 333% return. It's phenomenal. Because not only do we give money, Rob, but we also give some wisdom along the way to help you grow. Because imagine, wouldn't we want to see you grow faster? Because the better you do, the better we'll do, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
so we're talking to people sometimes weekly, monthly, whenever they need to. It's kind of like, Rob, you remember that TV show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Remember that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah, remember what they could do if they got into trouble? Remember that Lifeline, or what was
Yep.
that one?
Call a friend.
Yes, very good. The phone a friend.
Phone a
And
friend. Yeah.
people, just to imagine the peace of mind to know that if you needed to call somebody that had your best interests at mind, you could call them. Because a lot of people say it can be lonely out there as an Amazon business owner. And to be able to have somebody that will truly give them wisdom along the way is phenomenal. So we helped them along the way. They grew their profits to 41,000 the next year. So from $9,000 up to 41,000. It's funny, Robbie, we just did a year-end review of a lot of our people. Another student just did that exact same thing. He was making about $10,000 a month as of December 2020. We just reviewed his account back in December of 21, and he was up to $42,000 a month profit.
Wow.
So it's pretty funny. The numbers are very similar. And he 4x'd his revenue. Imagine, guys, you're 4x'ing your revenue in the next year. And I know some of you won't do that. You'll make way more, and some will make less. Obviously
4x is still good, though. I mean,
4x, man.
I'd take that.
Well, let's go 1 year further. Look on the screen, guys.
There
And then
go.
the revenue jumped up into 2020, 689,000, right? And a profit of 100,000. Okay, so we're even going a lot better now. 154% return on that. And the beautiful thing is, here's the answer to the question from my user. Ready? The person who posed the question. Here's the answer. Gary and Joy also enjoyed taking 114 out for living expenses to pay things that they needed to. So imagine they popped out. They're only making $9,000 profit. They came on with AccrueMe. Let me go back to screen. Here we go. Ready? All right. They were making $9,000 profit and clean. Probably not paying a lot of bills, right? With that 9,000, But all of a sudden, they've increased their profitability to such where they're growing their business. They took out $114, and they didn't make any payments whatsoever. That, Robbie, is how growth is enabled. That's how you grow your business, guys. It's certainly not going to be by doing a loan and paying up, having to suck out 25% of your profit to be able to pay the loan payment back and want to get out of it. Because remember, that's 30 mortgage. It's like paying it in 6 to 8 months. It's crazy. So I love what drives me and what gets me excited was when testimonials like this come in. We started in business relationship, but AccrueMe had been fantastic. But it's become a friendship and so much more than just business. See, we look for good people. And Robbie, just like good people hang with good people,
Absolutely.
and whiners hang with whiners. Successful people hang with successful people. You're the average of the 10 people you hang around with most. Some people hang around people that are always going to tell them every way it can't work, how it won't work, and everything wrong with it. Imagine hanging with people that's saying, yes, you can, and here's how the map it out. That's what's exciting. And that's why I've been a coach and a mentor for 27 years, because when you give people possibilities and you show them that their life can change and you show them the path to how to do it, and every conversation is going to come to money anyway. It always does. If I only had more money, well, guess what? The money's on the scene. We got a plenty of it. Now it's whether you qualify and we can what? Make sure we're a good fit for each other. And I love when people just say thank you to the whole AccrueMe team, because it is a team. It's a family, and you've experienced that. You've tasted that. And that's why we take a look at these examples like here we're excited about. Like here's an FBA wholesaler. We gave them $37,000. They're still active in the business. They were making $2,500 a month in the beginning. And then after 9 months, they're up to $13,000. Okay. And you can see that they doubled their seller's profit in 3 months. Imagine you're doubling your profit in 3 months. Look at that chart, guys. The light green is what your growth has been. The dark green is what AccrueMe made a piece of. Okay. Big whoopee ding dong. Who cares if you're paying off a piece of it off the extra profit you wouldn't have had anyway, and you're growing and scaling your business. All right. Look at this one. I love this chart. Rob, this is exciting. Look at this one.
Yeah.
Got the money, and then what happened? COVID hit and things got funky, right? And it went down, and they're like, oh man. But remember, if you do not make money, we do not make a dime, and there's no required payments. So that's why we get on a phone and we talk to you and make sure we're a fit with each other. But here, they made $3,000 a month one, but after 9 months, remember, they went down, we didn't make anything, and all of a sudden they started to shoot up, and they're over $11,000 a month in profitability, okay? And when they were having a hard time, they called us and say, hey, are you guys going to leave us? Are you going to, are you going away? And we're like, no, business happens. I mean, you can't send in essential products and things like that. I get it. Amazon sends an email out that changes everybody's world. I get it. You pivot. You as my Navy SEAL friend I'm going to see next week in San Diego, he says, you work the problem. Okay. Yep. We're looking for long-term people to work the problem with and to be able to grow together. I love this one. We do a retail arbitrage, and this surprises a lot of people because we're doing not only private label, which is killing it, wholesaling, which is killing it, but we do retail arbitrage. And it's such a hot topic right now. Look at this one. They're kind of all over the map here. Okay. But again, another 4X after 9 months. They went from 1,700 to 7,000. Okay, I don't know what your business numbers are. If this is too small for you, just add a 0. That's all you just add a 0. But I don't want to make it all these, $1 million accounts, because for the little guy just trying to make put their kids through college and just make a difference and, relieve some stress and to be able to just have the freedom of, I was talking to somebody the other day, Robbie, and they want nothing more than to stop working their job. And I said, Veronica, what's it going to feel like to be able to go in and fire your boss? And she's like, oh, David, I can't wait. Imagine, guys, you get to the point where you grow your business, you're 4Xing it, you get some funding, you got some help, you feel good about it, you got momentum in your life again. And then you go into your boss one day and say, you know what? I've decided I'm going to have to let you go.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It's just phenomenal. A couple more, Robbie, and then we'll go ahead and open it up for questions and we'll talk. Look at this one. This one's a private label. I love this one. We gave them 44 grand and they kind of leveled off. And what they did is they paid us back some. Okay. So they wanted to, because they're doing great on their profitability. So they shot up like mad. We only made a little along the way, but look what they did. They increased their profit by 200% from 8 grand up to 17,900. So I get jazzed on this stuff. I look at this stuff and I see all the people we're helping and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't beat the drum loud enough to where people are like, you don't have to do the 2,000-year-old loan. You don't have to go with somebody they're making more than you. Just look at it. You do well, we'll shave off a piece. If you don't, we don't make anything. I love this one, Robbie. Check this one out. They had a tough beginning. They're only making $100 profit. Here's for that person out there that's just kind of beginning in the mix. And they're having a tough road, but we helped them. We introduced them to some different people. We stayed with them in this. All of a sudden, they shot up like a rocket ship, and they increased by 4,795% in their business. Wow. Imagine you're going from $100 a month, and now you're making $5,000 a month. Robbie, that's life changing for a lot of people. You know that?
That is, absolutely.
I mean, bills are bills, and if you can go ahead and imagine you're taking out your bills with the income that you're making, does your life look different? Does your stress level look different? Does your ability to make choices different? They say in a marriage, the two biggest things in marriage are money and sex. And if you don't have number one, you certainly don't have number two. Okay. What does that mean? There's a lot of stress that's put on a relationship. And how can you accurately respond to the person you love if you're so stressed out over money? But understand, the money's there. It's available and it's a win-win. And that's why people say, well, David, how do I get started? What's the process? And I guess the next step is so simple, it's not even funny. All you simply would do, guys, is you take out your phone. And Robbie, I know you're going to put some links on here and things like that, but you can just simply go to app.accrueme.com and then click on Get Funded. And it takes 3 minutes. 3 minutes, get yourself pre-approved. We'll take a look at it. We'll ask for the API access so we can look at you under the hood and see what your inventory is doing. And then we'll complete your file and you'll jump on a call with me, guys. And then we simply talk about your business and see if we're the right match. Here's what we know. If we are, we are. If we're not, we're not. But gosh, wouldn't anybody want to be able to take 3 minutes and, do a couple steps to see if they could have a long-term funding partner? And out of a professional courtesy, what I tell people, Robbie, is, you know what? We'll always tell you. If we're a fit, you're a fit, we'll tell you. If you're not a fit, we'll tell you. We'll always be straight up with you and never waste any of your time. We just expect the same back from people as well. You know, it's good business, people. I got something fun I want to do, Robbie, if I may. I love giving away money. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
we are getting down to the end, but go ahead.
I haven't even looked at the
close.
time. Are we?
That's all right.
Okay.
No, you still got a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me finish this up and then we can go for questions. If you mention GETIDA or if you mention David, we're going to go ahead and give you an extra $500.
They can't mention me. Could they mention me?
They can mention Robbie as well.
There you go.
They can mention the guys with their hair on fire that have nothing left. Whatever you need to mention. But we'll give you an extra $500. So if we fund you $10,000, we'll give you $10,500, and you do not have to pay back that extra $500 just because you took the time to watch this and you took action. See, sitting in the stands doesn't do any good. The people that make all the money are the people that are on the field that get paid. Get on the field, get in the game, get growing your business. Just hearing about it doesn't do any good, guys. The requirements are so incredibly simple. Be selling on Amazon for at least 6 months and be doing at least $10,000, in capital. Your capital is your inventory at cost plus your accounts receivable. If you don't know if you meet that, go ahead and fill out the app. We'll go through it with you. And if you're, say, 4 or 5 months, hey, you know what? You're getting close. We'll set you up on a path. Like Jeremy, who's up in Canada. He hadn't met the criteria yet. He was a little less than 10,000. 3 months ago, we told him exactly what to do, and we just funded him this last week. And he was so excited. He's like, gosh, you gave me a path to run on. And just make sure you guys have an LLC or a corporation or be willing to get one, because that's the vehicle we fund through. My email, guys, is david@accrueme.com. david@accrueme.com. But the best way is to go through the app and let our underwriting team take a look at it, and then we'll jump on a call together through the video. And that extra $500, if you're going to ASD coming up in a couple weeks, or if you're going to Prosper or Proven or all the different conferences, we're there, guys. Come up to us. I love to be able to give $500 away and share that with you guys. So here's the final 2 screens here. Go to app.accrueme.com. Take 3 minutes. We give out funding anywhere from $10,000 to $1 million. Again, no obligation. There's no credit check. I mean, at some point, everybody's going to need money, period, end of story. So, gosh, anybody that's hearing my voice right now, take 3 minutes. Go to app.accrueme.com, fill it out so we can put on your file that whenever you do funding with us, you get an extra $500. I mean, secure that. Lock and load, because we're getting to critical mass right now, Robbie, and there's so many people that are hearing about us. You said the #1 app on there, and we're starting to explode. And I got one final concept. There's a lot of you that are influencers. And those are the people, I just love influencers. And you have a lot of people that listen to you because you're a leader. Leaders, listen up. Influencers, listen up. People that know other people in the Amazon world, listen up. This could be an income stream right here that could put your kids through college right now in this next 30 seconds. If you are a person that knows other people in the business, we've got a very, very robust affiliate opportunity. It's phenomenal. Where if you simply give our name, AccrueMe, okay, and you get your link set up and you say, hey, I'm with AccrueMe, or hey, I heard about these guys, or whatever, we have in our budget here anywhere from $500 to $10,000 we will give you by referring somebody to us and when we fund them. So
how's that determined, David? Somebody was asking, how's it determined?
It's determined by the size of the account.
Okay.
So have the size of the account, whether it's like, 10 grand and it's up to 100, then 100 to 250, there's benchmarks there, and I'll be able to share that with you as well. But it's obviously, a $2.5 million account is going to pay a little bit better than a $10,000 account.
Absolutely.
But if you know somebody you want to flip us some way, that is phenomenal. Guys, I just want to, again, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to maybe just share some thoughts with you that might change your life. And if I can serve you in any way, jump on a video call, get with us, and we'll have a conversation. My friends call me Fryman. You are welcome to do that. Obviously, I got that nickname along the years because I gave so much content. I fried their brain. So that's kind of an industry name I've gotten is Fryman. So anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Robbie.
Yep. I got you on.
All right.
Back on the regular, and
can I take a drink real quick here? Is that
right? take a drink. So actually, I'm kind of curious. This is a not personal question, but I'm just kind of curious, David. What did you teach? what grade? And I'm just,
okay.
I mean, not to take up too much time, but I'm just kind of curious because you mentioned it.
We got to do this. Put in the chat. What do you think what I taught?
All right, let's
put
see.
in there real quick. What did you think I taught as a school teacher?
Somebody said math. Oh, wait, maybe help them out. Was it high school, grade school? Because it could vary a little.
High school.
High school. Okay, so I saw math a couple times come up. Let's see. Somebody said science.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody said PE. I'm gonna go with PE. No, I bet
like
it wasn't.
A body of a PE.
That's the best. That's the best.
Dude, I look at food and I gain weight. So,
so it seems like a consensus is more on the math side, probably because a lot of your equations and stuff on here were amazing and the way you explain things with the dollar amounts. So I think I'm going to go with math with a couple other people that are mentioning math.
I'm going to give you something parallel to math. Okay. I'm a musician. Okay. I'm a musician. I was a recording artist. I traveled around the world. You see my little saxophone back there?
Sure. Yeah. Right yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm a saxophonist and woodwindist, and I was conductors, band choirs, and orchestras. I taught 5 through 12 instrumental music. So in a sense, I had adolescents with amplifiers that were hyperactive, and so was I. And we made a huge noise, and it was a blast. I had marching bands, jazz band, pep bands. It was just a rowdy party. But the thing is, my paycheck was $742 every 2 weeks. After 5 years of teaching, I was $57,000 in debt. I was $1,000 short every month on my bills. I was having trouble in my marriage. We were in counseling. I was frustrated because I did everything right. High school graduate, college graduate, got a job, worked my butt off, sacrificed everything, and my reward was poquito. It was peanuts. And I went to a conference and I heard from Mark, who's a co-founder of AccrueMe, that you need to know about compounding your money, exponential growth, velocity on your money, the quick turn of money. I learned those principles and I, took it. I was like a fish, just grabbed it, and I just shot up like mad because somebody actually gave me a shot to grow and to make money. That's why I do this, and that's why I'm on this call, and that's why I'm willing to talk to you. If you're ready to rock the house and grow and hit the nitro button, let's go. Bring it on. If you're not ready and you want to whine and complain, go away.
I love it. I love it.
Life's too short.
Just real quick, everybody, be sure to reach out to AccrueMe, app.accrueme.com if you want to try out or submit to see if you qualify. Odds are you probably will. If you met those requirements, you can always go back in the video and take a look at what David put down for the requirements. David at AccrueMe.com, if I'm not mistaken. That is what you showed up on the screen. I'll try to put that down in the description. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and always check out the Sellernomics podcast, especially the Show Us What You Got. And David, you definitely show us what you got. So appreciate having you on.
Thanks, Robbie, for helping people out. What you're doing with GETIDA is amazing. Everybody should look into that to be able to get what you have coming and what you deserve. Get the funding you deserve and get Amazon to pay you what you deserve. And thanks, Rob, for what you're doing. I love it. Like minds, good people hanging with good people. So what an honor. Thank you, my friend.
All right. Be sure to reach out to AccrueMe, and always great having everybody on. And thanks, David, for being on the Sellernomics podcast. Show us what you got. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Sellernomics podcast. Special thanks to our sponsor, GETIDA. Did you know that Amazon probably owes you money for FBA reimbursements? Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at GETIDA.com/Sellernomics. Be sure to join us again next week for more great tips on how to grow your business. And thanks again for listening.